Yes.
Okay.
Now, okay, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. So, good evening, everyone, all the participants who is participating in this 7 days workshop or training program. And my name is Sandra Mariandenu, Assistant Professor of GPS Institute of Agriculture Management, Bengaluru. I would like to thank Meadow Agriculture, ICO, and Sri Guru Ram Rai University for giving me this wonderful opportunity to address on the topic value chain development for agriculture products. So, before entering into value chain, I want to discuss about supply chain because value chain is a part of supply chain. By understanding supply chain only, you will get to know what is meant by value chain and value chain development and how we can proceed in the agriculture products. So, what is meant by supply chain? So, supply chain is a series of business activities a company perform to create a product or service from start to finish. That is supply chain means from the producers till the consumers. What all the business activities we are doing, that is supply chain. But in value chain, each activity adds value to the final product. That means what all the business activities we are doing in the supply chain, in value chain it will add some value to that particular product. That is meant by value chain, and it help the company to optimize the process to gain a competitive advantage. The value chain will help the companies to compete and also stand different in the market. For example, value chain, one example I can quote is one example I can quote, that is mango. A mango farmer is selling their products in the APMC market. Then after that, from APMC, the wholesalers are buying it. Then from all wholesalers, again the retailers are buying it. In between, if any processing units are buying the mangoes for the process of jam, to make jam, jellies, then we can tell we are adding some value to that particular commodity. So this is basically what is meant by value chain. And this definition is given by the Michael Porter. He is a professor in Harvard University. So next is who all are the participants or who all are the stakeholders in value chain. So the value chain drivers, we can divide them into two. One are primary stakeholders, another one is the secondary stakeholders. So in primary stakeholders, it include farmers, suppliers, traders, processors, wholesalers, retailers. And in secondary stakeholders, it include government agencies, NGOs, financial institution, and also we can add some private companies, because nowadays the private companies are coming into the picture to help the farmers to raise their income and also to give the new technology ideas to the farmers. So they are helping the farmers to improvise the supply chain of their particular produce or the value chain of their particular produce. So we can include the private companies also. The next one is value chain development. In agriculture, the value chain development is the process of enhancing the efficiency, sustainability, and profitability of all operations involved in the production,
बोलिए,
processing,
बोलिए, बोलिए, आइए, आइए.
marketing, and delivering of agriculture goods to the consumers. So, the value chain development means, what does it mean? Means if it is an improvisation, it is an improvisation which we are giving to the value chain. So if we are finding any a problem in our value chain, at that time we can rectify and we can analyze it, we can monitor it at the end, what technologies or what innovations we can add to improvise our value chain. That is mean by value chain development, and it will help to enhance. Excuse me, sir, whether the slides are not visible.
Visual, madam, visual.
It is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. So value chain development is the process of enhancing the efficiency, sustainability, and profitability of all operations involved in the production, processing, marketing, and delivery of agriculture goods to consumers. That I already mentioned before. If we are enhancing our value chain or if we are improvising our value chain, then it will enhance the efficiency as well as the sustainability and profitability of what all the operations from the procurement till the marketing, the production, processing, marketing, and delivery of agriculture goods to the consumers. Then, how we can develop our value chain, or what all process we can add to develop the value chain. First one is identifying the bottleneck. Identifying the bottleneck means we have to identify where the problem lies or where we are lacking. For example, if I'm taking an example again, the example of mango, we can find some difficulties when it is coming to the storage of the mango, right? So there, what interventions we can do means uh, we can have a very good infrastructure so that the shelf life of the mango can increase, as well as we can store it after the harvest of mango. It will be a benefit to farmers as well as uh, to the company or any other retailers to which the farmers are giving their produce. And suppose if the demand is not there in the market for any agriculture produce, at that time the farmers, what they will do means they will store their products in the warehouse. If we are not providing a good infrastructure or facilities for the farmers to store their product in a very hygienic way, then again there is a loss for that particular product. So we have to identify where the problem lies. According to that, we have to work on. Then the second one is improving production practices. Improving production practices. How we can improve the production practice? Before doing the production practices of any agriculture crop, we can have contact with the private institution or any other institution, government institution, educational institutions, and also we can go for FPZ, FPO, cooperative society, and we can ask for them to help. Like what all are the necessity for that particular production practices, so that we can get a quality produce, which we can use for our export, as well as we can use for branding of our particular produce. So uh, it is a win-win condition for both the government or for both the country as well as for the farmers, who all the stakeholders. It is a win-win condition for all the stakeholders who are including in that particular production process. Next one is post-harvest management. Post-harvest management means after the harvesting of that particular produce, we have to store it. For storing, we need a good infrastructure. When we are comparing our country, India, with the foreign countries, in foreign countries, they have automated warehouses, cold storage, etc. But in our country, it is not well developed. So in future, there is a possibility to take that technologies or to incorporate the technology in our warehouses. So if we are using the sensors in our warehouse, we can maintain the humidity and we can maintain the moisture level. and it will be helpful for the farmers as well as all the stakeholders, because once if they are providing a good or a fresh produce to the consumers, obviously the price will be fair. What price they are getting, it will be fair for them. So through that we can improvise the supply chain. Through improvising the post harvest management system of our country, we can improvise our supply chain. Next is market linkage. Market linkage, it is basically a connection between the farmers and the stakeholders. And for a smooth flow of information, market linkage is needed. The farmers should know what is happening in the market, as well as the intermediaries give a should give the information to the farmers what is happening in the market. And also for why it is very important means, if there is not a flow of information between the farmers as well as the intermediaries, then you can see a disruption in the supply chain as well as the value chain of that particular produce. That's why the market linkage is it's very important in the value chain development. Next is capacity building. Capacity building means we have to provide enough knowledge to all the stakeholders through training session, through workshops, or through any other hands-on training, HOT hands-on training if it is needed, or through any conference you can uh, give information to the farmers as well as the stakeholders. So it will be a benefit for them. It will be a benefit for them because they are getting an information which is very necessary to know the supply chain, what is happening in the supply chain, how does the supply chain will work, and how they can add value to their particular product. So if we are providing the information for the farmers, it will be it will be very useful for them. So capacity building is needed, and which will help the improvisation of the value chain. Next is the infrastructure development. Infrastructure development means, again, it is the it will come under the warehouses, cold storage, etc. So infrastructure development, it is basically we can see in the processing units. For example, before starting of the session, I have already given an example of like mango. After processing of the mango, we can make the items such as jams, jellies, etc. So for preparing a quality ones, we need a good infrastructure facilities, and government are providing some schemes for the infrastructure development. Next is quality standards. Quality standards means if we want to export our product to foreign countries, they have some standards. We have to follow that. According to the standards only we can export the product. If our product or produce is not meeting up to the standard, then they will reject it. And for branding a produce, quality standard is needed, or it is very necessary. So for producing a quality product, we have to develop the value chain. The next is the collaboration and the partnership. Collaboration and partnership means here we can collaborate with the government authorities, we can collaborate with or we can have a partnership with the cooperative societies such as FPO, FPCs. Then we can take help from the private companies. Nowadays, most of the agri-tech companies are helping the farmers through their innovations and through their uh, technologies. And in India, now the agri-tech companies are establishing. As we know now, we all the farmers start to use like drones, and they are using the precision farmings for identifying the pest, diseases, etc. So Before we were not, or the farmers are not adapted to it, but now they are adapting the technology. Like that, in future, we can look forward, or there is a possibility to incorporate the technologies in the value chain or the supply chain of this all produce. We can incorporate technologies in our warehouse, cold storage, and in the starting, uh, during the procurement process, or in the starting of the production. We can we can use technologies in all these areas to improve the value chain. Next is global view value chain development. What is the how the foreign countries are improving or improvising their value chain? They are using the technologies such as GIS, drones, and sensors to monitor soil health, optimize irrigation, and manage the crop disease. And this integration of technology allows for precise and efficient resource allocation, minimizing waste and maximizing the yield. Through these technologies, we can minimize the losses which we are facing in our post-harvest technology. Almost the like 30% of fruits and vegetables we are losing after the post harvest. So if we are adapting these technologies, or if we are incorporating these technologies, we can reduce or we can minimize the waste, and we will get a maximize yield. Then the Netherlands is a leader in greenhouse cultivation practices, which allow for year-round production of high-quality vegetables, flowers, and ornamental plants. And they are adopting the greenhouse technology, automated greenhouse technologies for their cultivation of the crops. Next is commitment to research, innovation, and knowledge exchange. They have, in foreign countries, they have a good knowledge about the about what they have to do in the future. If a problem is arising, how they have to tackle that problem, they have all this information, and there is a good R&D in the foreign countries. Next is quality, safety, and compliance with international standards. Whatever they are producing, they are maintaining the quality measures, they are maintaining the safety measures for the international standards. Whatever they are producing, it is up to the international level, so they can export their produce to the international market. Next is contract farming. Contract farming means it is an agreement between the farmers and the private companies, or even the public sectors. So in contract farming, what they will do means the companies or the government will help the farmers to identify a good variety. So they will give all the facilities to the farmers. The farmers just have to grow their crops, and they have to give back to the company as well as to the government authorities. If it is handled by government, then they have to give to the government, or if it is handled by private companies, then they have to give to the private companies. And in contract farming, it is a win-win situation for the farmers, because from this farmers are getting benefit, and also the company, if you're looking in this company side, the company people are also getting benefited. So in India, one here I want to quote one example, that is PepsiCo. PepsiCo, it's a company. I think everyone is familiar with the Lays. They are uh, they had a agreement, or they have a agreement with the potato growing farmers, and they are giving all the subsidies or the facilities to the farmers to grow the potato, and according to that they will help the farmers. And so at the end, the farmers just they have to give the potatoes to the PepsiCo company. And in India, you can see their farming in Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka. There they are growing the potatoes to for the company, and through this we can develop the value chain. If the contract farming is included, it the farmers are getting some knowledge from the company people, and also the they are also getting some knowledge from the farmers. So it is a win-win model. And recently, even the the government of India, they are also in contract farming with the farmers for the pulse like tuar dal. Recently, they they agreed, or there was a agreement between the farmers as well as the government in the contract farming. So it is in Punjab, Bihar, that contract farming, that agreement or that farming is happening in Punjab as well as Bihar. So through this also we can develop the value chain. Next is the infrastructure. When we are comparing the foreign countries with India, they have a very well developed infrastructure for the storage of the goods or for the storage of the produce. They have a automated warehouses as well as they have a well developed cold storage. And nowadays in India we can see so many FPOs are backed by NGOs. NGOs are helping FPOs in cold storage facilities. They are helping them, and they are giving the cold storages so they can store the producers such as onions, then potatoes. So when the demand will be there in the market, they can directly sell into the market. So it is a benefit for it is a benefit for the farmer. So in Indian scenario, it is divided into four stages. First is the production stage, second is the supply chain stage, third is the processing stage, and fourth is the marketing stage. In production stage, poor extension, then quality of inputs, it is very low, then low productivity, deficient and inefficient production management, then non-demand linked production, improper post-harvest management resulting in poor quality. Coming to the supply chain, we can see lack of storage facility, poor transportation, because if we are transporting the vegetables, we don't have a good transportation system. We are using the crates to transport the tomato, onions. We have to find some new innovation or new new innovation. Instead of crates, we have to find some new innovation, so that through the transportation we will not lose. There will be not any wastage of the vegetables, or the vegetables will not spoil. Then high wastages. Then in multiple intermediaries. In Indian scenario, we have the number of intermediaries is high. For example, from producers, it is going to the agents. From agents, again, it is going to the traders. From traders, again, it is going to another trader or supplier or wholesaler or the retailer. So the number of intermediaries for a particular product from the producers to the consumers are more. But in foreign countries, it is not like that. The farmers have direct access with the wholesalers or the retailers. And in foreign countries, they are selling their produce directly to the wholesalers or retailers or even to the consumers. So the number of intermediaries are very less in the foreign country compared to India. Then fresh produce transported to mandis in open basket or gunny bags stacked one on top of the other. As I already mentioned earlier, that we are using either the crates or the gunny bags or stacks. So it is not that so the spoilage will be more for that particular product. So we in this area we have to find for new innovations. Next is the cold chain absent or broken. Cold chain you can see, even though if it is there, then produce deteriorates rapidly. Next is food safety is a major concern. Hygiene and pesticide MRL not monitored properly. Next is the processing. In processing, what all the things we are lacking? First one is low processing. The processing units it's very low. And lack of quality, what produce we are producing, it has not, it has it is not meeting up to the quality standards. Then poor returns, low capacity utilization. Next is the marketing, poor, again it is poor infrastructure, which is again related to the warehouse, cold storage, and lack of grading. We don't have a grading system for our agricultural produce as well as the horticulture crops. Then no linkages. No linkages means no connection between the farmers and the consumers, or all the intermediaries. There is no well information flow, or there is no smooth information flow between the producers as well as the consumers. Then no transparency in prices. Non-transparency in the prices means the most of farmers are not getting a fair price for their produce. Sometimes the demand of the market will be low. So after, because there is no well developed storage facility, they have to sell their product directly to the market. So like this, like this bottlenecks are there in the value chain. If we can tackle these problems, it will be helpful for the supply chain or the value chain of that particular product. Like that, we can add value to our products. Then next is long delays from the producer to the retailer. As I already told, as the number of intermediary increases, always we can see a delay in that process. When it will reach to the consumers, a delay is there in the process. So these are some of the bottleneck which we can see in our Indian scenario. Here I want to tell some of the problems which is there for the onion. The as as we know that there are two type of onion is there, Kharif onion and Rabi onion. The production of Kharif onion is less as compared to the Rabi season. Due to rainy season, production is less and the moisture of onion is more. So that's why the farmer not store this onion. After harvesting, it will go directly to the market. When we are comparing to the Rabi onion to the Kharif onion has more moisture level than the Rabi onion, and because of this, farmers are the farmers should sell their produce or should sell their onion directly to the market. So again, it is a forceful action for the farmers, right? So how we can tackle means, or how we can reduce this moisture level means, we can store the onion in a automated warehouse where where they can use the sensors to monitor the moisture level. Or if that is not possible, we can process the onion into the onion powder. In foreign countries, they are using the onion powders, so we can uh, process the onion and then we can sell the onion in the foreign countries or in Arab countries. So again, that is a gain. Actually, we are exporting the products to other countries. It is again a gain for the Indian economy. And if we again, and we are adding some value to that product by value addition. And if we want to sell that particular powder, we can do it by branding of that particular product. Again, marketing can be done through branding. So again, if that onion powder has quality, or the onion that brand have quality, means again the target customers will be more for that particular produce. So that is adding value to that particular onion. Next is apamidi mango. It is a mango which is used for pickle, and though exports of apamidi pickles are taking place, there is no separate data for the product as it is clubbed with other pickles. We are exporting the pickles to other countries, But what is the drawback of this? This means, even though the export is happening, but but we don't have a separate data for that particular product, because it is clubbed together with other pickles. And this Appe Midi mango, it has got its GI tag. Okay, so once again, if any produce is getting a GI tag, it is again adding value to that product. So, like through GI tag, or through using any technologies, or using any other varieties, we can improve our value chain. Next is Kari Irshad. Kari Irshad is another type of mango which is prominently grown in Uttara Karnataka. It is considered one of the finest quality mangoes due to its unique aroma, luscious taste, high amount of pulp, shape, and size. And again, this mango has got GI tag in 2023. Again, this mango we can use for export, because by adding the GI tag, again we are adding value to that particular product. So in our India, we have so many products which has this GI tag, and we in future we have to look into how we can brand this product, and how other country people will come to know about the product, or what are the technologies or innovations we can incorporate for our agricultural producers. Next is pomegranate. Pomegranate, it has been observed that approximately 70% of the pomegranate production is suitable for export as well as domestic marketing. Thus 30% we are losing it. Okay, 30% of pomegranate we are losing due to maybe post harvest, or maybe due to the quality of the pomegranate. But now we are exporting the pomegranate in other countries, but now the export of pomegranate decreases as compared to some previous year, because the quality of pomegranate is decreasing due to the various diseases such as cercospora and bacterial blight. And for this issue, or for tackling this issue, IIHR Bengaluru, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research Center, they are doing research on the resistant variety for this cercospora and bacterial blight. Ongoing project is happening. So in future, we will get that variety commercially. So at that time, we can tackle this problem. Next is grapes. Here, a brand is known in Maharashtra. A brand is known, which is known as Maha Grapes. They are performing very good in the export, because they are producing the seedless. They are producing the seedless grapes, and they are performing well in the export market as well as in the Arab countries. So what they are doing means, they are incorporating some of the technologies in their product, in their supply chain, or in their supply chain of the grapes. So that technologies are adding some value to the grapes. Mahagrape is a partnership firm of 16 grape growers cooperatives, in keeping with the international trend of fruit growers becoming exporters. The vineyard owners of Maharashtra entered the international market with their own brand called Mahagrapes. It acts as a facilitator, quality controller, input supplier, as well as service provider to its member society, and they are also getting support from the government, such as NHP, National Horticulture Board, as well as APEDA. Then the hard-working grape growers in areas of Sangli, Nasik, Pune, Solapur region of Maharashtra have formed 16 cooperative societies with a membership of almost 2,500 farmers. So this is an example of how we can develop, or how we can improvise our value chain. Mahagrapes has linked Mahagrapes has linked grape growers to international markets. It is pioneer in bringing pre-cooling technologies and array of post-harvest operations, and also they have a very good infrastructure facility, and they have a support, private support as well as the public support. So because of that, they are known as the number one grapes brand in India, which is performing very good for the export of grapes. And they are providing the good quality grapes. Then next is the objectives of Maha Grapes. What are the objectives? First one, upliftment of the farmers community. Through their branding, they are uplifting the farmers community because the farmers are getting a good benefit from that, and growth of cooperative movement. Then encourage and develop agriculture export. Then maximize the foreign exchange earnings. Update the farms on the latest technology in farming. As I already mentioned, they are using the blockchain technology for the traceability of the grapes. Then the acceptance of global challenge with a commitment to quality. They are producing a very high quality grapes so that they can export it into the international market. Next is functions. To source and develop worldwide market, then to provide quality control in post-harvest activities, then provide extension services to members of cooperatives for production of export quality grapes, then supply and supervise branded packaging. Through branding or through the well packaging, we can add value to that particular product. And also the logistical support, either from the third party logistics or even by their own company. This is a supply chain. This is a supply chain of the grapes, of the Maha Grapes brand. Then they are exporting their products to the European countries, and they even also have Gulf consumers, how they are doing the supply chain. Next is the government are supporting for the value chain development by providing some schemes. The first scheme is Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. The key objective of the scheme is to mobilize a medium to long-term debt financing facility for investment in viable projects for post-harvest management. And the scheme covers post-harvest management projects like supply chain services, including e-marketing platforms, warehouse, packing house, assay units, sorting and grading units, cold chain, logistic facilities, primary processing units, ripening chambers, other viable projects for building community farming assets such as organic input production, supply chain infrastructure, infrastructure for smart and precision agriculture, including the export clusters, etc. And here the government is providing up to a limit of 2 crore under his financing facilities will have interest subvention of 3% per annum, and this subvention will be available for a maximum period of 7 years. Next is top value chain development. T stands for tomato, O stands for onion, P stands for potato. Here, the Food and Processing Ministry, they has been implementing the scheme for development of tomato, onion, and potato value chain since November 2018. The scheme has two components, namely long-term intervention and short-term intervention. In long-term intervention, the main objective is to enhance the value realization of farmers by targeting the interventions to strengthen the production clusters and FPOs, and also by connecting them with by connecting the farmers with the market. And reduction in post-harvest losses, as I already mentioned, almost 30% of vegetables and fruits. Fruits are losing through the post harvest because we don't have a well developed post harvest technology. So through post harvest only we are losing a 30 percentage in number of vegetables and fruits. Reduction in post harvest losses by creation of farm gate infrastructure, development of suitable agriculture logistics, creation of appropriate storage capacity, and linking consumption centers. Then increase in food processing capacities and value addition in value chain by creating firm linkages with identified production clusters. And these are some of the long-term interventions for this scheme. Next is the short-term interventions. The objective of the scheme is to protect the growers of eligible crops from making distress sale and to reduce the post-harvest loss. And they are providing, the government is providing at 50% subsidy on two components. The first one is transportation and next is the storage facilities for the top crops. And the next scheme is Mission Organic Value Chain Development. Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern region is a central sector scheme launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare in 2013. The scheme aims to promote organic farming in the northeastern region of India and develop end-to-end organic value chain. As we all know, Sikkim is known as the Sikkim in India. Sikkim is the only state which is known for the organic farming. And if we are providing a good infrastructure facilities to the northeastern state and also the transportation facilities, we can export more produce from the northeastern eastern region of India. And this is again we are adding value to that particular producers which is in that particular area, that is northeastern region. Next is the Rural Infrastructure Promotional Fund. Here, the NABARD has created a separate fund titled Rural Infrastructure Promotion Fund to support programs and activities that promote rural infrastructure with the ultimate objective of facilitating agriculture and rural development. The NABARD is giving a financial assistance to the development of infrastructure in the rural area, and it is helpful for the rural people as well as for the agriculture. Then the next is the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sambandha Yojana. The Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sambandha Yojana had 7 components. This scheme is mainly looking into 7 components. One is for mega food park, another one is integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure. Next is the infrastructure for agro processing clusters. And another one is creation of backward and forward linkages. Then creation or expansion of food processing and preservation capacity. Then food safety and quality assurance infrastructure. Then human resources and institutions. So these are some of the schemes which are providing by the government for the development of the value chain or the supply chain of the agriculture produce or the products. Next is another example for the value chain development in coffee. The Coffee Board of India, they incorporated some of the technologies for the traceability as well as for the value chain development of the coffee. So blockchain is one of the technology which they have incorporated in the value chain. Here, the blockchain technology helps for the online marketplace and traceability of Indian coffee. The initiative will help in creating a brand image of the Indian coffee through the traceability. And Coffee Board is encouraging farmer producer organization, helping the small growers become more competitive and get better market access. Then the Coffee Board is facilitating access to e-commerce by connecting the 4 small farmer producer organization, and they are even providing the eco certification to the coffee such as Rainforest Alliance and Fair Trade certificates, so that again it is adding a value to the coffee beans. And the geographical indication GI registration is done for Arabica coffee. Again, that is again a value, again that is adding a value to the coffee beans, Indian coffee beans. And they are doing their promotion through the digital media campaigns, and even they have a mobile app for coffee growers, and the name of the mobile app is Coffee Connect. Then they had a collaboration with the USA based NGO, non for profit organization, for providing efficient, timely, customized advisory to the coffee growers. So these are some of the technologies which the Coffee Board of India took, or they initiated for the development of the value chain of coffee. Here, some case studies are there. Some successful case study, ICT driven case study, value chain development in India. The first case study is the like mobile apps for pest management, disease detection, and crop monitoring. As I already told you before, in India, a more number of agri startups are emerging. And I think most of you are familiar with this Plantix. Okay, what they will do means they have their own app. So the farmers just they have to click the pic and they have to upload it into that platform. Then the farmers will get all the details, like what they have to do if there is a infestation of any pest, what pesticides they have to apply, or if there is any disease detection, what again what they have to do, what fungicides or uh, what they have to do, they will get to know through this apps. And also they are doing the crop monitoring also. So like this, a number of agri tech companies are emerging in India, and most of the farmers or the cooperative societies, they can use it, and they can improve their yield as well as the production. The next is Enam. Enam is a online trading platform which will help the farmers to sell their product. And here there will be a transparency for the farmers, as well as, for example, if the farmer is selling their product, the farmers will at that time only they will get a SMS, and the money will credited in their bank account. So it is again a technology initiative, which is undertaken by the Ministry of Agriculture. So the main objectives of ENAM is to integrate markets first at the level of the states and eventually across the country through a common online market platform to facilitate pan-India trade in agriculture commodities, to streamline marketing or transaction procedures and make them uniform across all markets, to promote efficient functioning of the markets, to promote better marketing opportunities for farmers or sellers through online access to more buyers, markets, removal of information asymmetry between farmer and trader, better and real-time price discovery based on actual demand and supply of agriculture commodities, transparency in auction process, price consumerate with quality of produce, online payment, etc., that contribute to market efficiency. So it is a benefit for farmers also, because they know what is happening in the market when they are selling produce, and they will get a information about the price of the commodities, daily price of the commodities. So it is a transparency for the it gives a transparency for the farmers, to establish quality assign systems for quality assurance, to promote informed bidding by buyers, then to promote stable prices and availability of quality produce to the consumers. These are some of the objectives of the ENA. Next, what are the benefits? Transparent online trading with enhanced accessibility to the market, real-time price discovery for better and stable price realization for the producers, reduce transaction costs for buyers, availability of information on in-mobile app about the commodity prices, the details of price of commodity sold along with quantity are received through SMS, quality certification, more efficient supply chain and warehouse based sales, online payment directly to the bank account of the farmers after the product is sold in the market. Next is FPO and ICT based value chain management. Nowadays, FPO, they are incorporating the technologies in their cooperatives. Because of that, there will be post harvest losses and the storage. If the infrastructure, if they have a well developed infrastructure, they can store their producers, or the farmers can store their producers. Again, it is a benefit for farmers also. And here I am going to tell one example of the FPO and ICT based value chain management. I think everyone is well known about the Shayadari farm, which is in Maharashtra. It is a FPC. It is a farmer producing company. They are incorporating the technology such as blockchain, and even they have a agro trust platform which integrates blockchain, IoT, and AI platform. And here they are using the blockchain technology for the traceability of their products. And the Shayadari farms, they are doing exports also. It is also one of the major player in India for the export. Then next is the conceptual model. Here, the conceptual model, we can see the 5 stages. The first stage is the pre-production stage. The second stage is the production stage. Third is the post-production. Fourth is the processing. And fifth is the distribution, commercialization, and export. In pre-production stage, means before going for the production stage, in pre-production stage, we can plan like how we have to produce a particular agriculture product, like like what all the technologies we can include to get a quality product, or to tackle the supply chain problems, or what for the like what all the problems are there in the supply chain. For doing that, before we can plan. After planning, then we can go for the production. So in planning, we can include the institutions, whether it is agriculture institutions or any the CSR funded institution, private institution. We can take some information from them, and we can plan according to that. And also we can incorporate contract farming. As I already mentioned, in India we can see contract farming in tomato, potato, then in pulses. So here the farmers are also getting benefit, because in if it is a contract farming, the government and the private companies, they will provide everything to the farmers. The farmers should not have to do by anything by his own. He just have to cultivate the crop which they are telling. So it is a win-win condition for both the farmers as well as the private public sectors. So we can include, or we can look into the contract farming in future. Like already it is there, but for more products we can look into that. The next is the PPP model. PPP model means it is the public-private partnership. As we already seen in the Mahagrapes brand, there is a public-private partnership for them. The government is supporting them enormously. So if we are getting a private support as well as the government support, then the farmers can bring a huge change in their value chain of their produce. The next is the production stage. In production stage, the first is the ICT driven. That means information and communication technology we can use. And again, a PPP model we can incorporate in the production level also. Next is the post-production. Post-production means like after the harvest everything, like infrastructure will play a major role. In infrastructure, what are the changes we can find or we can innovate in the future. Then next is the processing. Processing means the processing units such as like mega food parks. So we the number, it is there in India, but we can increase the numbers. So so we can add some value addition for that particular product. The next is the distribution, commercialization, and export. After processing our produce, then we can go for the distribution, commercialization, and export. For that, we need a quality standard product. And if we need a quality standard product, then we have to focus from the pre-production stage itself. Then from the pre-production stage to the post-harvest stage, if we are providing a good technology, or if we are incorporating a very good technology, we can reduce the post harvest loss, or we can minimize the post harvest loss, and we can export a good quality product to the foreign countries. Next is overcoming the challenges, adaptive management strategy. How we can overcoming the challenges in the value chain. First, we have to plan. First, planning. Second, monitor. Third one is adapt. Planning means before, as I already told, before going into the production stage, we have to plan what we need. Like if we have which crop we have to produce, and what are the technologies we can include for getting a better quality product. If we are producing the quality product, whether an export is needed, or whether a branding is needed for that particular product. So you have to plan all these things. Then after that, monitor. If you are finding any bottleneck, or if you are feeling some changes is needed in this particular phase or in this particular stage, then you can monitor it, like what all the changes are needed for in that particular stage. Then after that, adapt. Adapt means, as you already know, before the drones, precision agriculture or precision farmings, this you can see in the foreign countries only. From the foreign countries only, it reached to India. At first, the farmers were not ready to adapt those technologies, but now they are adapting those technologies. So like same likely, or in a same manner, in future there is a possibility, or in future there is a possibility to adopt a automated warehouse or cold infrastructure, or or branding of their particular like product, or the exports of their products. So we like it is a kind of adaptation. We are finding a problem, then we are monitoring the problem, what we have to do, that after that we have to adapt, or we have to bring it into practical. Next is the future of value chain development. Like, what is the future of value chain development, and what are the emerging trends? The first emerging trend is technology, and the second one is globalization, and third is the eco-friendly. So in future, the value chain development can be done through this only. As I already told, like technology, already it is existing in our country, but we are not using it in a proper way, or in it in a wisely manner. Then globalization. Globalization means we should have an access to the international market. Like already we have the access, or we are exporting most of the agriculture produce to the other foreign countries, but that quality, we have to maintain the quality. Then eco-friendly, whatever we are producing, it should be in a sustainable manner. Next is key takeaways: building competitive and value chains. How we can build our value chain, or how a value chain become competitive when we are compete with another countries, how it will be. First we have to analyze. Second, we have to incorporate, and third, we have to connect. Analyze means what are the problems we have to analyze, then whether we have to incorporate any like technologies or any theories or any institutions or any informations we have to incorporate according to the problem. Then after that connect we can connect means like a good connection should be there between the farmers as well as uh, between the farmers as well as between the consumers. So a good information flow should be there, then only we can get a stable connection. Because for example, if the consumers are not knowing like what from where their products are coming, that is known as like traceability. So nowadays a QR code you can see in most of the like branded vegetables, if we scan we will get to know the origin, where it originated and how, all the things you will get to know. So it is a connection. We have to create that connection with the consumers, then only the consumers will have the trust on that particular brand. If you are branding your produce, then only you can get a particular like connection. So that information flow and connection, it should be very stable. Before concluding the session, I would like to share a video.
Imagine a farmer grows tomatoes. They
So whether it is visible, that video?
No, madam.
No. Now is it visible?
they sell these tomatoes at a local market. The tomatoes are sold at a
No, ma'am.
Sorry, 1 minute.
Never.
Sorry, actually the video it is not able to play. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. So this is the end of the session. So I hope everyone understood like what is the value chain and what is the value chain development, and how it will help for the development of the agriculture produce, or in future how we can look into that. So uh, once again, I would like to thank Meadow Agriculture and the ICOR for giving me this opportunity. And now we can start with the Q&A session.
Thank you, madam. Now,
Sir, please
question answer
PPT
session is
send.
open.
Hmm?
Sir, please lecture PPT send in groups. 50 days, 60 days, and 7 days.
So, okay. Anyone want to ask any question?
Ma'am, what is blockchain?
Blockchain. Blockchain is a technology which we will use to store the data. In each blocks, we can store the data, and also it is used in agriculture. How it is useful means we can use for the traceability purpose. Through the traceability, we are improvising the blockchain technology, or it is a shared immutable ledger that facilitate the process of recording transactions and tracking assets in a business network. And mostly we are using it for the patents or the copyrights or any branding of the produce. And in agriculture, we are mainly using it for the traceability.
Ma'am, it's a parts of supply chain management.
Actually, it is a technology we can incorporate in the supply chain management. Because as I already mentioned, like I think I have already gave you example of coffee, the Coffee Board of India. The Coffee Board of India, they are incorporating the blockchain technology for the traceability of the coffee bean. So in that way, we are adding value to that, and it is we can implement the blockchain in every sector.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Anyone want to ask any question?
In chat, any?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Now
No,
I
sir,
am
in chat.
inviting to
No,
Dr.
sir.
Khushbu.
In chat,
Ji, ma'am.
excuse me, sir. In chat, one question is there. How we reduce the intermediaries, ma'am? We have a lot of FPOs, but they are also actors in the. Like in this, what we can do means you can go for your own brand. Okay, you can, if you want to remove the inventories, you can either sell your produce directly into the market, or you can go for your own brand. Through that, we can reduce the intermediaries. And also for branding a product, you can use the social media platform, because nowadays even in Karnataka, in Chikmagalur, they are branding their coffees. The coffee growers, small coffee growers, they are selling their product as brand. Okay, so yeah, so you can do in that way. They are doing branding. They are doing for most of the agriculture produce. You can look in that way. Any other queries, questions?
Is in chat box, ma'am.
Okay, what is the difference between the supply chain and value chain? As I already mentioned, supply chain means it is a business activities, or for example, what all the activities are included from the procurement to the marketing. For example, from the procurement, like we are procuring a product, after that it is going to the manufacturing units, after that again it is going to the retailers, and from the retailer shop the consumers are buying it. So it is related. That means what all the activities are included, or what all the measures we can take, that is meant by supply chain. Actually, value chain is a part of supply chain. Okay, value chain, it is a part of supply chain. And what all the business activities we are using in the supply chain, there we are adding some value for the product. The simple example I can give you is chili. Okay, chili. Normally how the chili the farm normally how the supply chain of chili is, the farmers, the chili growers, farmers, they will they will give the chili to the APMC. Then from the APMC the traders will buy that. From the traders the wholesalers will be buying that. From wholesalers the retailers, then after that it will reach the retailer shop, and from then the consumers. This is the supply chain. What is value chain means, when we are adding value to that product, or when a value addition is there. For example, if in that process, if we are sending the chili to the any process unit for making chili powder, okay, for making chili powder, in that way we are adding value to that chili powder, or for that particular chili. So that is the difference between the value chain and the supply chain. Okay.